Hello, my name is Rose Bassett, and I'm here to try to explain to you how to understand Mustang Matrix's matrices. Now, we are what I like to call a personal force matrix, which means that you are in control of your own success. Company force matrices. Well, everybody goes in left to right to fill up the row, then it goes down to the next row, fills up left to right, to the next row, etc. Now, if you recruited 5 people, they would be put in the line, left to right, not below you. Company force matrices are fine, and they're good for those people who are, let's just say, don't recruit very well, but it also has some downfalls. Force matrices. With a force matrix program, you're responsible for filling in all your own matrix positions. Now, you may get spillover from your upline or your downline, but it is still your own responsibility to fill it out. You won't get anyone in your matrix from outside your upline, yourself, or your downline. With our personal force matrix, it is a force matrix, but you get your own wedge of the pie within the overall matrix. What's the difference between a subscription position and an individual purchased position? That's a very good question. The answer is nothing. A subscription position is a position that is created automatically every week. That makes it so that there's constant movement. There's no stagnation. An individual purchased position is a one-time purchase position. Now, most businesses and matrices, it's either a subscription or individual. We wanted to have a little bit of both because we know the benefits of the subscription is that there's constant movement. But the downside is that you can't always get individual positions. So a subscription position and an individual position, they work the same. We're going to be using this example for understanding about your wedge of the pie and how things flow. This is Amy's wedge of the pie. All of her positions will always fall within her wedge of the pie. Now, it does extend down more levels, but for the simplicity of trying to fit it all on the screen, it's just this area. Okay? When Amy buys positions, her positions will always fall within this matrix. It will never be outside of this matrix. Bill. This is Bill's wedge of the pie. All of his positions and all of his downline's positions will always fall within this matrix. They will not fall outside of his wedge of the pie. There's Cal's wedge of the pie. There's Don's wedge of the pie. Wherever you get your very first position will dictate where in the overall matrix it will be. Does it really matter left or right? 2 things happen when a position is created. And it doesn't matter whether it is a subscription position or an individual position. The first thing, a new matrix board is created. Now, you'll find all your matrix boards under Matrix, My Matrices. Now, the first level you're going to see is level 1. They're all color-coded. You'll see in this example it says matrix number 2. There is a place ID number. There is the person's username. And see where it says R2? That's basically saying that is board number 2. When you first get a position, a new board is created where you are number 1. You are in the top. Second, that position will show on the bottom level of another board. Remember our matrix number 2? And you could see where the place ID position number is? Well, if you look at matrix number 1, you'll see that that matrix number 2 board, that position is also on the bottom level of matrix number 1 on the left-hand side. Does it always go under your own positions? No, it doesn't. It depends on what the previous boards are looking like, what your upline has been buying. They may have bought the position that falls right into that spot on that left-hand side before you bought your second position. Some of the times you might have, everybody loves spillover, right? But remember that when somebody gets that spillover under you, it's in your wedge. It helps you, but you need to fill out the next level too. Okay, here's a question I've gotten from a few people. How can one matrix board cycle before another? Here's an example from one of our members. you'll see that matrix number 9 has filled. The status is completed. Matrix number 10 is not completed, but matrix number 11 is completed. Now you may be going, I don't understand this. Now, yes, in a company force matrix, it would all go one after the other. But when it is a force matrix, you never know. I'm going to show you. We're going to go back to the previous example. Here's Amy, and you'll see underneath the name of the person, there is a number. That is their board number. So Amy gets in, she buys her 2 subscriptions. Then she puts in Bill. So you see the Bill 1. Well, Bill got all excited. He just got his first position. And then Amy decided to start buying some more individual positions after her 2 subs. So Bill only buys his first subscription. Then he puts in his buddy Don, who buys a subscription. Well, Amy decides, she wants to get the most that she can in that first day. So she gets her 6 and 7. Now you'll see Amy has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you see number 5 is under Bill. Then Don got in, went down to the next level. So Amy puts in 6 and 7. Well, after Don got in, Bill decided to get his second subscription because he remembered he needed to have 2 active subscriptions to qualify to get any kind of earnings, whether it is from his own cycling or even from sponsor bonuses. So Bill got his second subscription and Don got his 2 subscriptions. Well, then Bill put in Jay. Jay got his 2 positions. Bill got more. Don got more. Don put in Paul. You see how those are filling out? Now, as you see, one side is filling out faster than the other because Amy's is all over. This whole matrix is Amy's wedge of the pie. But Bill and his downline will only fill in within his wedge of the pie. Don and his group will only fill in his wedge of the pie. Well, then Amy puts in Hal, and Hal decides, I'm going to go get the maximum I can for my first day. Then Bill decides he wants to get more. He puts in Nick. Jay gets more too. So this is what it looks like at the end of the first day, just for Amy and Bill and Don and Jay and Nick and Hal. And so this is how Amy and her downlines matrix looks like at the end of the first day. Now here is Amy's first board, right? Remember, it's 2 levels, 1 on the top, 2 in the bottom. Well, this board, board number 1, is complete. Amy's board number 2 is complete, so she is cycled to the next level. Amy's third board is complete, so she cycled to the next level. Amy's 4th board is not complete, so that one didn't cycle yet. Amy's 5th board is complete, it is cycled. 6 and 7, not cycled. So in this instance, you could see where Amy's board number 3 has cycled, Amy's board number 5 has cycled, but Amy's board number 4 has not. What will probably happen is the next day, if Amy goes in to buy more individual positions, it will fill out the next position that is available, going from top to bottom, in her own little wedge of the pie, and it'll fill out number 4. Now, here is an example from one of our actual members. I know it's kind of hard to see, even if you have it blown up full, but I had this member who said, Rose, I don't see any of my downline in my matrices. I can't see it in the board. So I went through. It is not easy to get your full matrix to be able to see who is what and where everybody is. I'll do another video to show you how to get this started. It's not easy. You will not be able to fully fill out your own boards because it's more than just your positions on there. At the very top, SMF, that's board number 1. So he bought board number 2, and then he put in WW1. They got their first 2. Well, then SMF put in LJQ. Now, SFM, this person likes buying a lot of positions because they know every position helps to fill out their own boards. The more boards you fill in level 1, you cycle to level 2. More positions in level 1 cycles more into level 2, cycles to level 3. But every position has the possibility to earn $85 from that one $5 position. And you can cycle your own self out through your own average. So this person has gone through and has bought a lot of positions. Now you could see, I have it highlighted where his downline members have bought positions and where they have fallen within his overall matrix. But you can also see with the WW1 1, this is their whole wedge of the pie. And you'll see all of their positions are placed within their own wedge. And you'll see where LJQ is their own wedge too. And all of their positions are there. Now, with this member, when they said, I don't see any of my downlines position in my boards. I said, okay, well, by doing this, I could see on his board number 1 on the right-hand side, well, there's one of your downline people. Board number 2 on the right-hand side in the bottom, well, there's one of your downline people. On his board number 5, it cycled through just because of his downline people. His board number 8 has got 2 people from his downline. Board number 11 and board number 21 is all just from his downline people. Also has board number 33 and 34 that has some of his downline people's positions there. Now, not all the time will all of your downline people be under you. Will not necessarily always fall under you. There will be some times where you're not going to see a lot of your downline's activity because they may get in and they may just run away. They may just use up that whole side. I have one member who I did this for, and on the right-hand side, he put somebody in, and that person just kept putting people in and buying positions. And so the sponsor who I did their matrix boards for, they only had 2 positions on the 8th level because that person who they put in on the right-hand side just went crazy. He bought his positions, he bought a lot of positions, he put in a lot of people who bought a lot of positions. So some of the times you may not see a lot of your downline on your boards because they ran away with it. They filled up that side of your wedge without you even needing to do anything. They may get so far ahead of you that you're not going to see them. The other side goes true. If you get in and you buy a lot of positions by yourself, let's just say you don't put anybody in, but you buy a lot of positions. Well, you may get down to the 6th level before you start putting anybody in. Well, there's an awful lot of positions that have already been filled up by you. So you may not see them all that often. Hopefully this video has been able to help you to understand a little bit better on how the Mustang Matrices actually work. If you have any questions, you can always put in a support ticket, make it short and sweet because I only get the first 190 spaces/characters. So if you have a whole bunch there, don't send it through support ticket, but please do it. Put in a support ticket so we can track everything. If I need more information, I'll contact you. I'll see you in the next video.